All right, Pistol, what's going on, man?
How you doing, Steven? In the words of my coach, John Gruden, I'll answer any question that I can.
All right, that's what's up, man. Honestly, man, I've been trying to do this interview with you for or discussion. I don't even want to call it an interview. That sounds disrespectful. Sounds like a job interview. It's more of a discussion.
Right.
And I told you like 2 days ago I wanted to cover the sports topics as related to like the Rockets Lakers series, but we'll also cover Raiders football as well because I know you're a Raiders fan.
Lakers,
Yeah.
gotta have my boy Kobe Bryant hung up behind me there. Rest in peace, man. Taken from us way too soon.
Dude, it doesn't even sound like Kobe's dead. Like, you know how people say like Elvis Presley's still alive? It sounds like that.
Right.
Or like
I don't know, man. Like, I just can't believe he's gone.
like Tupac, you know how people say Tupac's still alive? Like, they're going to be having these conversations about Kobe. Like, they're going to say he faked his death.
You know, there's people out there. I mean, actuality, who knows, man? Who knows how this world is run? I mean, I got my own opinions about certain things about that, but I'm not going to get into all that because, you know that old saying, brother, keep some things to yourself. Keep that shit to yourself. That's exactly what it is.
So I'm gonna try to look up the Rockets Lakers recap real quick because I want to look at the box score. I mean the scores for all the games, preferably for Game 5 as I'm looking up. And I want to say this first of all, man. Congratulations on your Lakers dominating us in 5. And I don't know if I told you this, but I was on LA Originals channel, and he asked me when the series begun. He said, "Who do you got?" I said, "I got Lakers in 5." And he was shell shocked that I would say that. He's like, "Why would you say that?" I was like, "Well, I think matchup wise, I think you guys got a lot more to play for in the honor of Kobe's death." I think the fact you got
you're being a realist.
Yeah, I said, and then look, we won the first game. He said the Lakers lost the first game, and a shout out to LA Original if he's watching this. Well, this premiere, but when it premieres, he'll probably be watching. He said, yeah, you know, Lakers usually take the first game off of the series. They usually play pretty bad in the first game, and I said, yep, and then you'll win the next 4. And he just said, dude, he's like, you need to really seriously stop with that 5-game nonsense talk. He's like, it's not going to go 5. Like, you just won the first one. He's like, and he even told me, I don't even know if we're going to win Game 2. And I said, nah, I think you guys are going to win the next 5. Now, in Game 2, the Rockets actually were in the lead of that game. I think we were up by like 8 or 9 or 10 points.
Yeah, you were. And you choked on to like a 22-point lead or something like that.
And you guys came back and took Game 2. And I knew when y'all won that game, you got your mojo. And that was the game you needed to win to solidify the series. I think I knew from that point on, if the Lakers won that game, then the series would not go any further. And that's exactly what happened.
Right, like I was saying to certain people up in here. By the way, shout out to your team for even making this bubble bowl playoff, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
I know my Lakers gave your boys heartbreaking playoff defeats over the years.
Yeah.
From 04, 07, and now. So anyway, the thing y'all need, the Rockets need. I mean, you got sharpshooters, cool, that's fine. You got people like Jack of Threes all day long. But you need a big man. That's the thing. We got a big man as an Anthony Davis, and Dwight Howard and JaVale McGee didn't play. I know that, but we were saving them for the next round or something. I think Dwight Howard played one game, if I'm not mistaken. There's one game, made a small appearance, didn't even play much.
No, he didn't play much at all. I think he had like 6 points in that game.
I would have thought we would have saw him during this series because he did used to play for y'all after he left us. And that's another thing that's weird. He's back. I mean, I'm all for second chances. I mean, as you know, when Dwight Howard was first with us, I did not like him at all. But he's matured since then, and he's become a better role player. You know what I mean?
Well, to be fair, I don't think we're going to see Dwight Howard at 2015. This is like towards the end of his career. He's just going to be a guy that's just going to be a rim protector. Like that's what I think. A shot blocker.
And he's not even a starter. Anyway,
First.
As far as game one goes,
Okay.
everybody was calling me, just like the last series. Everybody was calling me, talking about the Lakers are going to lose. They're in trouble. They're in trouble. I was like, we lost game one last series. And to be honest with you, Steven, I didn't think this would go 5. I thought you guys would get at least one more.
Mm-hmm.
But and I'm not just being nice either. I mean, you guys got a decent squad.
Nah, but if you looked at the Rockets New Orleans series, it went 7. You can tell that they were winded and tired.
Right, and certain teams, and you could argue the fact that certain teams want out of that damn bubble, no matter what it takes. You know, they just want to get out of there, go back to their families, what have you.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this: what did you think? Okay, when the NBA first started and they were having the bubble again, because everybody was saying that this was like a Lakers screw job, like the Lakers were getting screwed out of this, because when COVID shut down, the Lakers had kind of momentum, but they did lose like 3 or 4 or like out of their last 5 games before COVID hit, and then when COVID hit, it just kind of just shut everything down, and then everybody said, "Oh shit, well how's LeBron going to win a ring on Kobe's behalf?" When the NBA first announced they were doing a bubble, what were your feelings on it?
Well, to be honest with you, Steven, I hated it. I still hate it. I mean, yes, we got sports back, but I'm talking like, don't you miss going to a game, like the atmosphere, the fans, and everything?
Of course.
It seems like this bubble here, it looks like we're watching Summer League basketball. I mean, this is a very weird year.
Of course.
If we have to do this in order for sports to continue for now, I mean, at least we have the sport, you know?
Well, my main...
Yeah, you could say that there's fake crowd noise. Even that's boo-boo. I mean, you watched some of these NFL games yesterday. Them fake crowd noises were boo-boo.
Well, to be fair, I think that the NBA actually did better at doing the computer fans than the NFL having no fans.
They kind of like WWE, what the WWE's doing, right?
Yeah. We're like basically you sign in and then they buzz you in and then you're one of the fans on there.
It's just not the same. And yeah. I mean, I don't like this new lifestyle as is. I don't like these masks. I just want everything to
go back to normal.
The way it was.
Yeah. Well, Pistol, you got to understand something. Like, when the NBA first came back, I was like you. I'm more concerned about COVID and the safety and everything. But I'm not going to lie to you. After the playoffs had begun, when the playoffs first begun, a lot of scores were lopsided, other than Luka Doncic buzzer beater shot over the Clippers in Game 5, I think, or Game 4 to tie the series. There was really no exciting games. Like, Boston was sweeping. Boston just swept the Sixers. Pacers just got swept. Orlando had the gentleman's sweep. All the Eastern Conference matchups were sweeps. Even the Nets got swept, too. And I just said, you know what? I looked at it and I said, you know what? This NBA playoffs is going to be very boring. But then the second round picks up. All right, and then that's when you start seeing some of the better matchups. The Clippers Nuggets, which is now that series is tied at 7. You see the emergence of Jamal Murray and Jokic and all them coming together. They could possibly come back from 2-3-1 series, which would be the first time ever in NBA history. You got, I think, what's his name? LeBron had like the most playoff wins or something. He broke some record the other day. He surpassed Wilt Chamberlain for playoff wins or something like that. So I guess what I'm trying to imply is now the basketball playoff rounds is actually kind of getting excited. The Heat beat the Bucks. You got the Raptors and Celtics going 7 games or whatever. I'm now kind of changing my tune on the bubble. I actually think the NBA has they got a better contingency plan than I think the NFL and the MLB did. I think the NBA had they had the most organized way of bringing it back.
Right. In other words, I gave this bubble thing a new name.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just straight up calling it bubble ball because that's what it is. They're just playing a giant bubble. There's really no home court advantage. I mean, if you think about it, it's just basically who are you good enough to play.
Orlando had the home court advantage.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about this bubble thing because it takes away home court advantage. It means nothing, absolutely nothing.
Well, it feels like playing at the rec center. It feels like you're playing for the YMCA, like a small interleague, and you all meet up.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was watching the Dodgers and Astros game the other night, and yeah, they got these cardboard fans to make it look alive, but
Yeah.
it just ain't working, bro. You know it ain't real. And then you look up at the stadium, it's all empty. It's like there's really no true home field, home court advantage anymore.
Well, let me tell you like this. I would rather the NBA play in a bubble than watching MLB teams playing in each other's stadium with no fans. To me, that doesn't sound like much of a difference.
That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense to me.
Like, if I'm flying to LA to play the Dodgers, right, and I'm the Astros, and there's no fans in the stadium, then how do I, other than me flying to LA, how do I really feel like what's the difference between me playing at Minute Maid Park and in LA?
Bubble ball is what I like to call it. Makes sense.
And that's why I say the NBA organized it better.
Yes, they did. And you notice nobody's getting the virus since they did this bubble ball thing.
Yep. No, well, they could have gotten it if Emmanuel House would have brought that prostitute in. Which I want to bring you to that. Everybody's calling LeBron James a snitch, right? And allegedly, I don't know if you knew what happened, but in Game 4, PJ Tucker confronted LeBron James pregame. I don't know if you saw that, but it actually showed a clip of it. And he was calling LeBron James a snitch from 20 yards away, and LeBron's sitting there tying his shoe and laughing. And Anthony Davis walked by, and he's like, "What's going on?" And then he's like, you could see how LeBron's telling him, "Oh, he called me a snitch because I told on him for bringing that prostitute in there." So check this out. So Emmanuel House, he brings this girl in, right? Tries to sneak her in, knowing that this guy's married too, right? So he brings a prostitute in, tries to sneak her in, right, as one of the personnel. LeBron spotted it out. I don't know how the hell this guy did. He probably had binoculars or something. He was spying on the Rockets. He's probably one of his troll tactics, and he just happened to catch it. So he went and told security. Not only was the woman removed, but they made Emmanuel House leave the actual building. And not only that, but now the Rockets cut him. They suspended him for the rest of the series, and the Rockets actually released him. So PJ Tucker didn't like that. So he actually confronted LeBron to go box him before the game, but the security stopped him. You know, sort of like what Chris Paul and them tried to do remember?
Back when y'all was fighting when I still watch that, by the way, when Shaq and Charles were laughing their ass off. And y'all had to get a police presence because Chris Paul was trying to beat Blake Griffin up or something.
Yeah, no, Trevor Ariza was trying to box Blake Griffin.
Oh, yeah, and after during the game and after the game, because from what I understand, was Chris Paul and Gerald Green and some other guy, even Trevor Ariza, was going to the Clipper locker room.
Yeah, because Chris Paul knew the secret. Chris Paul knew all the areas in there. So he said, "I know the secret tunnel. I'll take you to it."
He used to play for the Clippers, so he knew his way around there.
And they almost got to him too.
He was cold.
Well,
they had a police presence, first time in NBA history that ever happened. And as far as this goes, he's dumb as fuck for even bringing a prostitute in there. What was he thinking?
Okay, here's the thing though. The rumor is now Russell Westbrook is involved. And all three of these guys, they said that when LeBron leaves the bubble, that he's not going to make it out in one piece, that they're going to jump him. Now, I don't know if Westbrook is at a hotel in Orlando or they're waiting for LeBron to leave that exit, but apparently those PJ Tucker, Westbrook, and Emmanuel House want to jump him.
LeBron is getting in their head. That's where we beat you then, because they're distracted thinking about all those tactics of getting back at them. They weren't even worried about winning the game. It sounds like, from what you're telling me.
LeBron trolled the shit out of the Rockets, and that's the first time.
Yeah,
dude, not even.
Shout out to him, man. That's the player of the game.
Look, not even Draymond Green.
That's a little revenge for your Astros from my Dodgers over, brother.
Okay. Not even Draymond Green, as much as a troll as he couldn't even troll us as bad as he wanted to, and he tried. Even he kicked Harden in the balls like 3 times, and it still didn't troll us. We didn't take the bait, but LeBron James is the master at trolling. I gotta admit, for him snitching and getting and that's another peripheral shooter there we lost. Another guy that's another mid-range shooter, another 3-point shooter. You just took him out of the equation and you trolled all the other guys. So LeBron is the ultimate master puppet.
Yeah. What about when Lou Williams went to a titty bar as opposed to going to the bubble? He had a quarantine for like 10 days or something.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, so when Bubble Ball first kicked off, we played the Clippers the first game. That's when LeBron had the putback. Lou Williams couldn't even play that game because he went to a strip club or something in Orlando.
I hate this. Man, to me, it's not worth it. I mean, I know y'all are going to be locked up for like 2.5 months with no pussy, but that's what jacking off is for.
Right? Don't they? From what my cousin was saying, Lakers Fins fan. If anybody remembers him.
Yeah.
Anyways, he was saying they got all sorts of entertainment in there. There's bowling alleys in there. There's movies they could watch. There's all sorts of shit they could do. I mean, I'm pretty sure they were born if they really wanted to.
But dude, who needs sex when you got millions of dollars like that? Like if I'm glad basketball's back, you could put me in there for 6 months with no pussy, and it wouldn't even faze me.
Some of these dudes are married, like you said.
It wouldn't even like I get it, the human elements there, but dude, that's what jacking off is for. Like you have self gratification on your phone. You got porno on your phone,
and you can't catch nothing from jerking your winky. You can't catch nothing from that.
Okay. Now, people have asked me what I thought about LeBron James Snitching, seeing as a Moroccans fan. It's easy for me to get mad, but honestly, I thought the thing was funny because I knew LeBron was trolling, and it worked. And the thing was, he did the right thing because if that girl did have, Corona, and gave it to House, and then House played on the court and gave it to everybody else, now you're talking about the Lakers being infected for something he did. So, yeah, I think LeBron did the right thing.
Maybe that's what he was trying to do, get us all sick. I don't know.
I think LeBron was trolling, but he did the right thing regardless. I think he did the right thing regardless. I want to say...
We live in crazy times right now, man.
So, Pistol, let me ask you a question. Other than Anthony Davis to LeBron James, let's go over their stats for Game 5. LeBron had 29, Anthony Davis 13. Obviously, he didn't have too good of a game. And Kyle Kuzma had 17 points. Other than those three guys, because obviously if I was to ask you who's your favorite Lakers players on the current roster, those three names would pop up. Other than those three names, what other players did you thought stepped up in the playoffs that you liked? Well, any dark horses? Any guys that you were just like, wow, I didn't expect this?
I want to shout out to my boy, Playoff Rondo.
Okay.
Rajon Rondo coming back in the playoffs, he tore it up, man. He came out of nowhere. Shout out to him. This is Playoff Rondo that we like. But another dude I want to give a shout out to, he played like shit most of his career and everything else, but he must have worked on his jump shot after the Portland series losing Game 1, because this dude I'm speaking of only had, and I'm going back to that series, in Game 1 of that series he only had 1 point, 0 for 29, and this is my boy Contavious Caldwell-Pope. He's worked on his jump shot clearly. He spent some time in the gym after that game and got better with his shot.
Well, I'll tell you who my player of the series was in this, other than those three. And he goes by the name of Markieff Morris. The guy had, I think it was second quarter, he had already had 16 points in the second quarter. Yeah. By the second, he was already in 16, a guy that comes off the bench. I did not expect a guy like him to just, again, I know he's a good shooter, but I didn't expect to see him have that kind of game that he had. I did not see that coming. Mm-hmm. And the way that guy comes off the bench, they were almost daring Markieff Morris to shoot the ball, and he was hitting those shots.
And he was hitting them.
Yeah,
he was hitting the shots as he was daring, as he was being dared, I should say. He was hitting the shots.
Yeah, I want to go to the other games. Let me see. Let's see, Game 1. Okay, so we're gonna go to Game 1, and that was the one where Rockets won 112-97. I didn't get a chance to watch the highlights, but that was really the game where Russell Westbrook really had a good game. He had 24, Harden 36, Eric Gordon had 23. Those were like the three guys. Austin Rivers even had 10 points off the bench. Now, for the Lakers, LeBron and AD both had a good game, both at 25 and 20. But
Right.
Caldwell Pope had 5. Danny Green had 10. Kyle Kuzma, 8 points. Rajon Rondo, 8. Alex Caruso had 14. Dwight Howard had 1. Deion Waiters had 2. So what do you think that game... Because obviously in the second quarter we outscored you by 7. In the fourth quarter we outscored you by 9. So that's ultimately what led to that victory. What do you think that why do you think the Lakers opened up so flat in that first game? What do you think this?
Well, first of all, we were neck and neck with you guys all game long
Okay.
until that fourth quarter. I think that they got a little tired or something. You guys were just hitting your shots out of nowhere, and we simply were not in that fourth quarter.
Okay. So the fourth.
We had
so
nice
really
defense, and nobody really did much.
Okay.
And,
So
as far as LeBron and AD, we need everybody else to step up to the plate, not just leave all the work for them two guys. You know what I mean? That's what a team is for.
okay. So game one was really, it was the fourth quarter you think that fell flat. Okay, now let's go ahead and go
Right.
to game 2, which I think.
We're neck and neck all game long with you, like I said, up until that fourth quarter started.
All right, so let's go to game 2, and I think this is really important that you need to hear this. All right, I pulled up the box score. Now, the Lakers opened up with a 16-point lead in the first quarter. You guys were up 36-20. And y'all remained a 16-point lead at halftime, but then the Rockets jumped out scoring 41 in the third to your 23-18. So that gave us a 2-point lead going into the fourth. What do you think what do you think happened in the fourth quarter that turned it on? Because you guys were up, you guys managed to still score 10 more points than us, 27-17, and ended up winning by 8. What do you think? Like, you guys built a big lead, you lost a big lead. That's what happened in game 1. What do you think turned it up in the second half?
Well, first of all, how we lost that lead was, again, I think we got a little arrogant and cocky and comfortable.
Yeah.
Because we're up by, 16 points in the second half, I think? 15, 16
Yeah, y'all were up 16 going in the second half, yeah.
So we go into the third quarter, and you guys score at will. It's like we got comfortable. We couldn't hit our shots, and after that quarter, you guys were up by 2 points, I think. And then I think when that fourth quarter started, and LeBron must have said, "Hey, listen, we can't make the same mistake we did last game." This is exactly what happened. So we just turned it up, hit our shots, and like I said, I think we got a little too comfortable and underestimated you guys a little bit.
Yeah, so LeBron ended up scoring 28 in that game, and Anthony Davis really had a lights out. 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 34 points.
We better not have lost that game wearing those Mamba jerseys.
And guess what? Markieff Morris had 16 points. I still feel like that guy is the difference maker. Rajon Rondo, 10. Danny Green, 9. Caldwell Pope didn't have a good game. So this is the first 2 games. Caldwell Pope really didn't have a good game. Alex Caruso had a good game 1, game 2, only 2 points. He fell flat. Kyle Kuzma, 13 points. At this point, I think we can make the argument that Kyle Kuzma's given average numbers in the first 2 games.
Well, I don't think he's getting enough playing time to begin with. I mean, they're just not using him right. But anyway, he's still in the double digits a game. You know.
Did you feel like game 2 was a must-win? Like, did you feel if you guys were to lose game 2, the series would have been over, or it could have possibly been over?
Right. I mean, you definitely don't want to lose any games in the playoffs per se, but had we lost this game, you guys would have had better momentum going forward, and you guys probably could have took us out in 6. So every game means something. Okay. But then again, you go back and look at the Nuggets and the Clippers. All of a sudden, the Clippers' 3-1 lead turned into a Game 7.
Yep. So and remember, Nuggets did the same to the Jazz. And the Nuggets were down 3-1 to the Jazz. They're saying if Nuggets win Game 7, that'll be the first time in NBA history that a team came back down 3-1 in 2 different series. In one playoffs.
And I think it's going to happen.
Oh God! Imagine if Denver does it to the Lakers. I think, dude, I would just say, wow, just crown them the champs.
No, would you like a stat, Steven? I'll give you a stat.
All right, sounds good. Let's go.
And it's regarding the Clippers.
All right.
In franchise history, this team has never surpassed the second round.
And I also heard they've only been to the second round like 2 or 3 times too. from what I heard.
Right, you guys. I don't know if you remember this. This is back in like 2015 playoffs, I believe it was.
Yeah, we came back down 3-1 and beat them.
You guys played them, the Rockets.
Yep.
You guys were down 20 points in that game 6. All they had to do was hold on and win, and they would advance to the Western Conference Finals. But now you guys merged and came back. They choked on the 20-point lead, and then you guys took them out easily in Game 7.
And also, to be fair, when the Clippers did go to the second round for their first time, the Lakers were up 3-1 over the Suns, too. I think that was back in the 06 playoffs. I mean, that was a long time ago, but...
Right, that's happened to the Lakers
yeah.
before. I remember that series like it was yesterday. I went to 2 out of 7 of those games.
Yeah, do you think the NBA obviously wants a Clippers-Lakers series? And to be fair, I kind of want it, too. Even if they rigged it, I wouldn't give a shit. Because I would actually like to see that series take place. Like, just to say that it finally happened. Kawhi Leonard versus LeBron James. I want to see that.
Well, first of all, I find it kind of funny now that bubble ball is taking place. Nobody really has home court advantage, and they might have the two LA teams square off when it's a neutral setting. I mean,
well, to be honest, I see. I know you keep saying it's in the same place. I actually kind of like that element because now we can actually. There's no excuse for them not to feel under pressure because there's no pressure, so you can play. Right. You can play up to your true ability. No one's watching you. No one's, eyeballing you from the stands. So you should be able to have no problem performing at your peak.
Exactly.
And look at what LeBron's doing. Look at the numbers LeBron is putting up. So let's go ahead and go to Game 3 now. Okay. All right. This is a good game here. And I'm not sure if this was Game 3 that LeBron did this. I think it might have been Game 4. But he put up like 29 points in one quarter or 26 in one quarter. I think that was Game 4, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because he only had 36 points. Okay, so Game 3, the Lakers come to Houston, which is in the same place. And you guys win 112-102. And Anthony Davis, 26 points, LeBron, 36. Now, the first quarter, we led by 1, and at halftime, we led by 3. And then in the end of the third, we were tied. But once again, the fourth quarter came, and that's when the Lakers were able to make a run. LeBron James takes over, has a big fourth quarter. I think he scores like 18 in this fourth quarter alone. And Caldwell Pope, again, he's nowhere to be found. But again, all he needs is 6 points. I mean, Danny Green had 2. Rajon Rondo had a good game. 21 points and 9 assists.
That Game 3 is when the Rondo I was talking about, you said who was the X-Factor player.
Yep.
That's when playoff Rondo started to show up in that fourth quarter of Game 3.
Yep. And look, Markieff Morris, who had those 2 double-doubles in the first game, he only had 2 points in this game. And Alex Caruso, 5 points. Danny Green only had 2, so he kind of rescinded. JaVale McGee didn't have any points, but they did give him a little bit of playing time in this game. So they gave him 7 minutes of playing time.
Danny Green, we really don't got the same Danny Green that was in San Antonio. I mean, there's some nights he's on point, and then there's nights he's flat.
Well, he's a good role player.
He's basically inconsistent.
I knew once you guys won this game and went up 2-1, I said it looks like my prediction for the best of 5 is coming alive. Like, I knew it was over. I knew it. I mean, I knew once y'all won Game 2, it was over. But once Game 3, I solidified. I said, "Yep, that's it right there." The Lakers found their stride, and this was the game that they were going to go off on. So let's go ahead and go to Game 4 real quick. All right, so Game 4, you guys, of course, are in our house in the same gym. And so we lost our first home game, so now we figure we could get the split so we can try to even the series. And the Lakers win 110-100 final score. You guys were up by 4 at the end of the first. And then in the second quarter, you emerged, and that's when y'all really ran the gun and went up by 16.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all went. Yeah, because y'all went up by 12 and then 4. So yeah, that's 16. Yeah. Y'all went up by 16. Okay. So y'all were up by 16 at that half, and I really feel that this was sort of the game that the Lakers sort of went off. Anthony Davis, I noticed he played 40 minutes in that game. He's crashing the boards, 12 rebounds, 5 assists, and he's scoring at will. Like, they're actually feeding him the ball, and it seemed like to me no matter who they put on Anthony Davis, whether it was Tucker, Harden, Covington, whoever, they were not stopping that guy. If you give the ball down post to Anthony Davis, he's going to get this. He's either going to take the 10-foot jump shot and hit it, or he's going to get fouled and go to the free throw line. And it seemed like that's what he did. The Lakers completely took over. This was the game that Anthony Davis took over, despite the fact I know LeBron only had 16. So I think that was game 3 when he had that big 26 points in one quarter. Yeah, that was game 3. Yeah, and they said that was LeBron James, by the way, the first time he's ever done that since 2012 against Boston. So he's actually playing 7 years ago. So he's actually playing like he's 28 right now.
So, in other words, with the bubble ball and the bubble, LeBron's working on his game and more focused on his game. So, anyways, that game 3 goes without reason. Like, we're talking about game 4. Sorry.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So what happened in game 4 is basically the other elements. We get a little comfortable, and then you guys start to merge back and claw your way back into the game. We think the game's over, and you guys still refuse to give up. I've got to give that to your team. You guys refuse to give up.
Okay.
So.
Well, in this game right here, Caldwell Pope has 10. So that's the first time I think he went double-double. Markieff Morris had 9. And then Danny Green had 10. So he had an okay game. Alex Caruso's best game so far. He had 16 points. Rajon Rondo had 11, so repeat of game 3. Kyle Kuzma, he played 22 minutes, only 4 points. And, I mean, that's pretty much the stats. For the Rockets, of course, Eric Gordon had a big game with 19. P.J. Tucker did not score at all. And that was the game that he confronted LeBron on.
That's your guy's a sharp shooter, three-pointer.
Yep.
He likes shooting that corner 3.
On 33 minutes with no points for P.J. Tucker. Covington only had 3. Wow. Westbrook 25. So Westbrook had a good game that game as well. James Harden kind of rescinded at 21 points from his usual 30. And then, of course, Jeff Green 9. Ben McLemore 9. Austin Rivers, best game of the series. He had 14. So P.J. Tucker's talking all that shit to LeBron because that's when, of course, Daniel House got suspended and everything. P.J. Tucker goes to confront LeBron James. LeBron trolls the shit out of him and starts laughing. And he's like, yeah, I snitched.
Was Daniel House even one of your best players?
He can shoot, so part of the small ball, he's a contributing factor. Yeah, he could put up about 9-10 points a game. So, yeah.
Right.
You remember something. He may not be a big player, but LeBron not only trolled PJ, because PJ had no points in that game, and then he also trolled Russell Westbrook mentally and took that little midget out of the game.
Yeah, so we didn't beat you at the game of basketball. We beat you at mental aspect.
The mental aspect, yes.
You guys were more worried about him snitching on you guys, and as opposed to the series.
Facts.
At that point.
Yep. And when you're able to troll all of us, when you're able to troll, especially like Westbrook's turned into kind of like a diva, or like a what they call him, what they call DeMarcus Cousins. They call him like the emotional lesbian. That's basically what Westbrook has become now. Okay. All right. So let's go. So once Lakers were up 3-1, what was your thinking? Did you think the series was over? Did you?
I was thinking we better not get comfortable here.
Okay.
Because this team does not want to give up. Like I said, we've only beat you by like 10 points. It's not like we beat you by 20-plus points a game. No. I mean, at one point we were up 20-plus points a game, but you guys somehow managed to come back, and we got too comfortable. All I was thinking in this was do not get too comfortable because they'll spot it.
All right, so let's go ahead and fast forward. Now it's game.
Because look at the Clippers. Weren't they up 3-1? Now look at they're in game 7.
Yeah, Utah same way.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and go to game 5 now. That's the game where it really sort of hooked the nail in the coffin of our season and sort of solidified the Lakers as they're really taking this seriously. Because everybody questioned if LeBron really gave a shit about playing in the bubble or if he cared about winning championships. Was this, oh, well, because of COVID, no one's really going to care. I still got 2 years left on my deal after this. I think this was a game right here that sort of solidified that he really does care, because LeBron really showed in this series. LeBron single-handedly took this series over. Now, I know other players contributed, but I really felt like LeBron took this game over. And this was the game, again, when you guys jumped out to a 22-point lead, and then we got it down to 15 at the end of the first. Then at halftime, we were down by 11. And then you guys jumped out to a 15-point, outscoring us 33-18 in the third. And that really was sort of hooked. I really feel like the third quarter of some of these games was really when the Lakers were really gelled together. Other than game 1 and 2, other than game 3 and 2, I really felt like game 4 and 5, the Lakers in the third quarter seemed to get it together.
Right.
And that's what helped sort of solidified their place. Now, I know in the fourth quarter we outscored y'all by 3, but at that point it was really irrelevant. Because, I mean, you guys were almost up by 30 points at one point. I think it was 29 if I'm correct. Right?
Right.
Yeah, 29.
So check this out. That from the opening tip-off, we were coming down your guys' throat that fourth quarter, and then again we got a little too comfortable. So I made a joke with my buddy. I'm like, he kept trolling me. So he's like, he goes, the Lakers are gonna choke in this series. Look, they're starting to come back. You guys got no control of them. I'm like, look at here, man. We're just making shit interesting. So we got a little comfortable here, and you guys started climbing back. But we didn't lose the lead at all. From what I understand, we were ahead the whole game.
So, Pistol, who is this guy? His name is Talaine Horton Tucker. Is he any good? He had 9 points. I never heard of that guy before, but he had 9 points in the closeout game.
Yeah, he's one of our role players that shows up every now and again. You don't see him too much.
Yeah, Rajon Rondo only had 3, but guess what? He had 5 rebounds and 5 assists. So those 5 assists make up for it.
His game is that the assist and the rebounding and defense, basically. He's not really a shooter.
And Kyle Kuzma, 17 points, his best game in the series.
That's where Kuzma came. The Kuz control came in play.
Danny Green, 14. Caldwell Pope had 10. Markieff Morris, remember the guy I keep telling you about? 16 points again for the third time in this series. He's had at least over 15.
That was a good pickup. So shout out to the Detroit Pistons for that gift right there.
But here's the sad thing about this game, and I wanted to weigh into it. Now let's go over the Rocket scores. Eric Gordon 5, PJ Tucker 8. So really, after the LeBron troll job, Tucker only had 8 points in 2 games. Go figure. Covington 5, LeBron 30, Westbrook 10. Now, Westbrook did have 24 in the troll job, so I got to give him respect for that. Like, obviously didn't get to him, but he did have 10 in the following game, so it might have affected him afterward.
You were after his head on Friday night, though.
Oh, so let me ask you this. You know the sad thing about this game? What? You know the sad thing about Game 5? Is Anthony Davis didn't even have to be on the court to win.
No.
That's the sad part about this. He didn't have to play at all.
Right, exactly.
He could have sat out. Technically. At the end of the first quarter, I'm watching a score from Walmart. And this is what angered me about this series. Other than the other 4 games. This game pissed me off. Because Anthony Davis had no points. And we were down 22 points.
Right.
And he had 0 points.
Yeah, he didn't even shoot the ball up until the second quarter, and those points came from free throws, so he didn't really have to do anything.
Yeah, I think LA Original told me, I think he had like 6 points or 4 points on 2 shots or something. Those might have been the free throws.
Yeah, man, he didn't even have to show up. He could have just took a break, took a day off or something. He didn't even have to play.
I think AD was there as a decoy, just to throw off other people that have to double him, dish the ball out. Other players stepped in and made the shots.
Or because people want to watch him play. I don't know.
Well, I mean, of course, AD has to be in the lineup, even if he's going to have a bad game. But it's sad to me that the Rockets were down 30 in the third quarter. And I remember watching, it was like 86-61. And I'm looking, and I saw like that Anthony Davis only had like 5 points. And I said, you know what, man, this is fucking pathetic. And like, when I looked in the fourth quarter, I said, how many points does Westbrook had? Because I think he had like 8 going in the half, if I'm correct. And then, like, I look in, it says the little bastard still got 8 points. And then in the fourth, he makes 1 or 2 free throws. So he had 1 point going in the fourth quarter. And then I guess he got his other point later on. But I just said, you know what, this guy's a fucking joke. And I don't care if he had 24 points the previous game. He played 36 minutes and only had 10 points. That guy's a piece of shit. I hope they trade him. I really do.
Yeah.
I'm sick of him. But the only thing is we're stuck with 3 years on a $176 million deal. I don't know if anybody's going to be dumb enough to take it.
Well, I mean, there are desperate teams out there.
That might look for a come-up.
You could probably even trade him to Detroit for like their first round pick or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like some of these bottom teams that are looking for any sort of lift, like any sort of momentum, because may take the chance.
We're talking Russell Westbrook, right?
Yes.
So anyway, him and Blake Griffin in Detroit would actually be a good teammate.
Wow.
Because can you imagine that? Him, Andre Drummond, and fucking Russell Westbrook in Detroit. That'll be the next come up of the Pistons if that's ever to happen. And then they'll give you guys a few role players of theirs plus their first round pick or something. I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking there's going to be some teams at the bottom or hovering in the middle that are just itching for some sort of lift, and they'll even take the risk of taking that diva Westbrook. Just to put some butts in the seats or to get some kind of spark or momentum. And I think there will be a bottom team that may, even if it's the Pacers, I think somebody's going to take that move. The Wizards.
Perhaps even the Suns. Even.
Somebody's going to jump on it. Somebody's going to jump on it. And I think they're like some bottom team is going to be willing to give up some first-round draft picks for him.
Yeah.
So what's your personal thoughts on Westbrook and on James Harden? We'll start with Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook, he's a good player, great player, but inconsistent. But he's not about team ball. It seems like.
What about James Harden?
James Harden is just a stat board like Peyton Manning was. Just scores a lot of points and just scores all these points. Like Shaq told Kobe one time, it's not about scoring on everybody every night, dunking on somebody every night. It's not about that. To be a better player, and Shaq said this in an interview, if Kobe Bryant was going to be the best player ever, he'd have to make everybody else better around him. And James Harden and Russell Westbrook, it seems like, and occasionally PJ Tucker, it seems like that's all people know on your team. So Harden needs to play team ball more.
The thing about the Rockets is if PJ Tucker and Gordon are both scoring at will, like the three-point shot, then that's when the small ball is deadly here. And if Harden's already getting his points in Westbrook, you got four big key pieces in that lineup. But if you can take Tucker or Gordon out, one of those pieces, and you have to rely on the other to consistently shoot, that's where I think other teams have the chance to sort of expose the Rockets. And for you guys to troll the shit out of Westbrook, you basically just took our second best player out of the game, basically.
Right. I mean, that's the part of the game. It's getting in your opponent's head anyway. It's part of the game. The
only thing about LeBron, well, I understand LeBron does his meddling. I understand LeBron's kind of like a diva himself. I'm not saying he's perfect.
Yeah.
But here's what I think about LeBron James.
Perfect by all means.
But here's what I think about LeBron James. If you compare LeBron James and James Harden, or even throw Westbrook in the mix, right? You throw those three guys together, and you were to tell me what is it, other than them scoring and championships, take all that away, what is the difference between them? To me, I feel like with LeBron, you could put him anywhere, and he makes shitty players or mediocre players look good. And I don't feel with Westbrook or Harden that's the case.
And that's what LeBron is doing good. He's making everybody else better.
Like, if Markieff Morris played with Harden, I don't think he's getting those 16, 18 points in the playoffs.
Right.
But with LeBron makes J.R. Smith look good. LeBron makes Dwight Howard at 34 look good. LeBron makes Caruso look good. LeBron makes not Caldwell Pope. Even guys like that, where Caldwell Pope came from Detroit, he wasn't that good. But with LeBron makes all them elevate their game.
Right.
And Harden can't do that. Either can Westbrook.
Yeah, I mean that's what you got to do. Like I said, you gotta make everybody else better. It's not just about yourself. It's a team sport, you know.
All right, Rick just texted me. He said that the Rockets and D'Antoni agreed to part ways. I mean, I think it's the right move because as much as I like D'Antoni, he looked burned out. And like sometimes when you overstay your welcome at someone's house, you could tell you're not wanted. So you're just like, okay, this isn't working out. Let's just go. Or let's just say you coached there for so long and it kind of got stale and you need a new voice in the locker room. I think it was just time for D'Antoni. Like, he's not a bad head coach. I want to make that perfectly clear on video. He's not a bad head coach. I think this is from what I heard. I heard Daryl Morey and the owner said, we're going to take the small ball away next year. We're going to incorporate the inside out. I mean, we're going to go to the inside center, if not pass the ball out. D'Antoni's response is, I don't play that system. My system, I think, is better, which is a small ball, fast-moving, fast-paced, up-tempo basketball. And they're like, well, we're abandoning that. We're going to this. And he said, well, if that's the case, I'm not going to resign. So I think that's the reason why they parted ways, which I understand. If D'Antoni doesn't want to run it, he doesn't have to. And he's a free agent. Like, his contract's up. He technically didn't get fired, and he didn't quit. He just didn't re-sign with us.
Right, exactly. And it's kind of like when you're around a group of people, everybody else is talking amongst each other, and you're kind of like that little crooked trying to get your word in there, and you're still like invisible to them. That's basically what you're saying D'Antoni is to you guys.
No, I think D'Antoni, I think he has a good system. I just think in the playoffs it doesn't work, and I think he's starting to realize that. Although,
this is a guy that coached the Phoenix Suns for those seasons that the Suns were on top, and they went to a couple Western Conference Finals and lost.
But you got to remember, old people are stubborn. Like, when you get older, you become stubborn. Like, you're stuck in your ways. Right. And that's why they say when you get older, it's harder making friends because you're stuck on your ways. And I think with D'Antoni, he's in his 70s or 60s, early 70s. I think he was stuck on his ways. Like, this is what I'm going to do. If you don't like it, then don't hire me. Don't hire me for the job. And I respect that about him. So, okay, that's fine. It just we're at a point now. You're a free agent. It's not, we can't come to terms of an agreement. We're going to go another direction. And I'm pretty sure D'Antoni will get hired somewhere else easily.
Right.
All right, so let me ask you a question now, going back to the Lakers. Now you guys are in round 3, I'm sorry. You're in the Western Conference Finals, which...
Oh, you just gave us a boost there, Steven.
Okay. You guys are going to take on the winner of the Clippers in Denver. Who would you rather see you face and why?
Well, first of all, this is going to sound arrogant as fuck, but I don't care who we play. But since you're giving me the option to pick here,
yes.
As far as a better matchup would go, I'd like to play Denver because we would match up better against them.
Okay.
And the Clippers, but the thing is with these Clippers, I want my team to be the one to take out the friggin' worthless Clippers. The ones that run their mouths talking about they run LA. It's like, you haven't even been to a Western Conference Finals or even Eastern Conference Finals back when you were the Buffalo Braves, for that matter. So you ain't running shit. This team can win 5 championships.
That's why I want to see Clippers and Lakers in the Final Four, just to shut all the hype up.
I want the Lakers to end the Clippers drought, just to shut them up probably, and because that's what we're talking about forever. The winner of that series will kind of have somewhat bragging rights, but at the end of the day...
But, even if the Clippers went to the Western Conference Finals, it's still nothing to brag about.
But something... Right. But something about the Clippers, though, like, they have this curse on them. What happens to every single Buffalo team that you've noticed? And mind you, not a lot of people know this, but they used to be the Buffalo Braves.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
When they first came out.
Yeah.
Right. And what does every Buffalo team do, Steven?
Choke.
Exactly. The Buffalo Bills went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all 4 of them. How are you going to do that? And then, so, if there really is a curse in that city... And then the Buffalo Braves shifted the curse to the San Diego Clippers and the LA Clippers. But if we're going by that, then I don't see the Clippers coming out of this series. And like I said, they were up 3-1, were they not?
But, to give credit where credit's due, Jamal Murray's been stepping up, and then Jokic is just a beast,
Yes,
man.
he
That
has.
guy's pretty good.
Yes, Jamal Murray's a good player, and Jokic is a good player. But if we match up better against the Nuggets, but everybody wants to see the Lakers and Clippers play in the playoffs.
The reason why I do, I think the personalities would be better. You got LeBron, Kuzma, Markieff Morris, JaVale McGee, Caldwell Pope, Caruso. You're going to have Dwight Howard. You're going to have Anthony Davis. You're going to have all these different personalities, and then you're going to have your friends right across the street, Patrick Beverly, Montrell Harris, Lou Williams. You're going to have, who else do they got? My bad. Paul George. You're going to have Kawhi Leonard. And you're going to have your former guy, too, that used to play for y'all. What was his name? The center. Zubac. So, to me personally, and then, Tobias Harris with the Sixers, my bad. I would rather see that matchup. And I want to see Patrick Beverly talk shit to LeBron, and I want to see LeBron talk shit back to him.
Right, like everybody wants to see this LA versus LA.
Oh, man. Look.
We've been hyping over this since the beginning of the year.
Look, even in Texas, we've seen the Dallas and San Antonio's, the San Antonio and Rockets, the Dallas and Rockets matchups, and those get pretty hype. I can take you back to the 05 playoffs when McGrady dunked on Sean Bradley's back, and the city of Dallas and Houston were up in roar for that whole 2 weeks. We were talking mad shit.
And, Rockets, Steven, do you remember back in the 04-05 season, the Spurs were up by 2. It was a very low-scoring game. And instead of going for the overtime tie to keep it safe, T-Mac goes for the win at the buzzer, and it goes in.
Oh, you're talking about 13 points in 33 seconds, December 21st, 2004.
Yes,
that was one of the epic.
Yes,
dude, the Rockets were down by 12 points with a minute left, and McGrady
just. At that game with your Red Rowdy buddies?
Nah. The Red Rowdies, first of all, wasn't even around then. And
funny thing is, when you told me about Red Rowdies, I thought it was the name of a bar you guys went to.
Nah, Red Rowdies didn't even form till like 2010. Yeah, that's.
Anyways.
That was one.
There as a single fan.
Yeah, but and anyways, what was I gonna say? Yeah, that was a good game that McGrady had. But what I'm gonna say is nobody's seen, other than Sacramento and the Lakers, no one's seen any other like interstate California matchup. And what better matchup to have than the Clippers at this time with this roster, because this is probably their best roster ever since 2006. The Clippers and Lakers roster of now in 2020 finally collide. We got to see it. We have to see it. I don't care if the refs rig Game 7. I want to see Clippers and Lakers in the Western Conference. That should be the NBA Finals.
Well, there was rumors it could have been if they did the format like it was. Like we were going to play, they were going to mix the.
Yeah.
They were going to mix it up, but
116, 215. Yeah, they could have it to where two teams in the same conference can get in the finals.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here now.
So let me ask you this. Okay, so if you face the Clippers, how far does that series go?
That could very well go to a 5-game or even perhaps 6. I say we come out in 6.
Okay, you go against Denver. How far does it go?
We could probably take Denver out in 5 games, or if not, sweep them. So we'll probably finish the job with Denver because I don't know if you've noticed, but like you said, Utah couldn't even close them out either.
So who wins Game 7 tomorrow? Clippers, Denver.
Well, momentum means everything in the sport, but it's up to you to stop the force. But like you said, I think everybody wants to see a Lakers and Clippers matchup.
So
if the Clippers don't get their shit together.
So who do you got winning Game 7 tomorrow? Who do you predict's going to win Game 7 tomorrow?
I say the Clippers wake up.
Oh, okay. So now let's talk about the Eastern Conference. You got the Heat going up against the Boston Celtics. Both of those teams are on fire right now.
Oh, that's going to be a good series.
So who do you got winning that series?
I say basically the Boston Celtics could win the finals because they got a good matchup. They got Kemba Walker. They got Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
They got a good squad.
Yeah. So you got the Celtics beating the Heat?
Yeah.
How many games?
That's probably gonna go 6 games.
Okay. Now, if the Lakers and Celtics go in the finals, you got obviously you're going to root for your Lakers to win. How far do you got that series going?
Another 6-game series.
Oh, so you don't got it going 7. You don't got the 7 distance then. Okay, what if the Lakers face the Heat? How far is that going?
Get your broom out. We're gonna sweep those bitches.
Wow. Wait a minute. So you're saying y'all are going to sweep Jimmy Butler and Gordon Dragic and all them?
We've already did. We already wiped our asses with the Heat twice this year.
Well, I mean, but to be fair, it was only 2 games.
Right. But we got a better matchup than they do.
Okay. Well, I mean, hey, at least you're being honest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so let me ask you this then. Out of all the remaining teams,
if you want me to be nice about it, I'll give you a 6-game series with that one too.
Okay. Okay, how about this? This is the best question. Which of those 5 teams give the best chances of beating the Lakers in a 7-game series? Clippers, Denver, Heat, Celtics.
I say the Clippers. I say the Clippers got a better shot.
Damn.
Because if you watch every Laker and Clipper game this year, notice it's been neck and neck, and it kind of came down to the final minutes.
Yeah, I think the series. I think it goes.
As much as shit I talk about the Clippers, I'm not saying if they're a super team or not, but I will say this: they give us a run for our money every game this year so far.
Damn.
And maybe the Celtics, maybe. But if we play the Nuggets or the Heat, I mean, that's a little bit of an easy road.
See, the thing is, if the Clippers win the finals, everyone's going to say that Kawhi Leonard is the GOAT because they're going to say that he won championships with no-name teams. Spurs, Toronto.
Wait a minute, did he win a title with the Spurs?
Yeah, he's got one with San Antonio in 2014.
Oh.
That's when they beat the Heat.
Oh, okay.
And then he's got one with the Raptors. And then look, because if he won one with the Raptors, first championship in their 24-year existence. Vince Carter couldn't even do that, right? And then now, fast forward, he does it with the Clippers, and think of all the players that have come in and out of those doors and couldn't do it. And if Kawhi took 2 franchises with 0 rings to 1, they're now going to say he's the GOAT.
If you're going by that aspect, the GOAT means so many different things.
Yeah.
And he's, yeah.
All right, just for shits and giggles, I'm going to throw, it's still basketball related, but who do you think is more the GOAT, Jordan or Kobe?
Kobe already said it out of his own mouth, Jordan's the GOAT, because Kobe said most of his game, his skills, basically came from him. Jordan getting the helping hand. And not to mention the fact that Kobe Bryant lost 2 NBA Finals and Jordan did not, if you're going by that aspect. But Kobe, out of his own mouth, said Jordan was the GOAT. And he is. And Kobe's right behind Jordan, in my personal opinion.
Okay, so if you did an NBA fantasy draft and you drafted your starting 5 from players from back then to current, who would be your starting 5? Center, power forward, small forward, shooting guard, point guard.
Can it be from any time period?
Any time period, doesn't matter when.
All right, so my center is going to be Shaquille.
Okay.
Power forward, Karl Malone.
Ooh.
Utah Jazz, Karl Malone. I'm not talking about the Lakers, Karl Malone.
Oh, okay.
He only played like the season for us, didn't do much. But anyway, I'm talking about Utah Jazz, Karl Malone.
Okay.
And I might even put Charles Barkley at a small forward.
Ooh.
Okay. Forward.
Okay. Yeah.
Jordan at point guard and Kobe at shooting guard.
Ooh. Okay, now to be clear, which Barkley are you taking? 76ers Charles or Phoenix Suns Charles in the 93 finals?
I'm taking the Phoenix Suns Charles.
Ooh. Okay. That's actually not a bad lineup, though. Okay, now I'm just going to ask you one. If you had to take your starting 5 Lakers, all-time Laker greats, who would be your starting 5?
Damn,
Only Lakers players.
All right, well, center, Shaquille O'Neal.
Okay.
Power forward, I'm probably going to put Wilt Chamberlain there because Shaq is taller than Wilt Chamberlain.
Okay.
Shit.
So who would be your small forward?
Small forward, I would probably put Devin George.
Ooh.
Point guard, Kobe. Shooting guard, Matt Johnson.
Okay, that's actually not a bad lineup there. I thought for small forward you go like Eddie Jones or something, or maybe like Cedric Ceballos.
Nah, I personally grew fond of Devin George.
Okay, he's not a bad shooter either. Or Glenn Rice. What about Glenn Rice?
Not only that, I met Devin George.
What about Glenn Rice?
Glenn Rice even.
He was good when he was with the 2000 Lakers.
AZ Green.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Let's go ahead and fast forward to your Oakland Raiders now. We're over an hour, so we're gonna go ahead and go to your Oakland Raiders. So obviously,
Las Vegas Raiders now.
Your Raiders moved to Vegas. What were your thoughts, first of all, on the whole ordeal when they moved to Vegas? What was behind it? Why did they move? Like what was the whole ordeal on that?
Well, first of all, he tried to move to Los Angeles, but nobody wanted that. And for some reason, they wanted the fucking Chargers to move to LA, which absolutely makes no sense to me. They still don't get love in LA.
Mm-hmm.
LA is a Rams and Raider town, let's be real.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody thought the Chargers would move to LA. It's like, what the fuck? So anyway, that didn't pan out. And I guess for some reason, Mark Davis liked Las Vegas and liked bringing the National Football League to Vegas, and we got our own customized stadium. We're not able to share with the Oakland A's anymore. We're like, where we share with the A's. Like the first few weeks of that stadium is baseball turf, and
yeah, and that's why I saw the baseball diamond shape thing when y'all were running on the field.
Right, nobody liked it. Even the Texans complained about it.
But here's the thing, though, man. I heard that the Rams originally brought the Chargers in to block the Raiders from moving, but it screwed both of them over because they ended up playing that shithole Galaxy Stadium.
Right.
And it only sat like 20,000 fans, and now they're in Sophie Stadium, and they still have to share it. But check this out. According to LA Original, he told me that Stan Kroenke, who's the owner of the Rams, thought that the stadium was only going to cost $2 billion. Now to find out in cost and renovation to build that stadium, it's going to cost $7 billion. And he doesn't have the money. So now, and then since they brought the Chargers in, who basically are broke themselves, now the risking both of them may get kicked out of that stadium in a couple of years. So they blocked the Raiders from coming in, and they not only they thought they were screwing the Raiders over, but they really screwed themselves in the long run, and now the Raiders got a brand new stadium in Vegas, so Raiders are laughing in the Death Star right now.
Yes, sir. And that was a very impressive win yesterday. Shout out to my boy Josh Jacobs.
Dude, you know your
touchdowns, 93 yards.
You know your stadium looks like the Death Star, right?
Yeah, that's what I like about it. I'm a big Star Wars fan myself.
All right, so
it's a little chain. It's a customized chain.
Oh, Raiders chain. How much that cost?
It was only $25. There's nothing special about it, but the what makes it spectacular is that this was handmade.
That's badass.
This lady I talked to hand makes every team or whatever. But if you like, I could send you her link. She could probably make you a Texas one.
Dude, that's
Texas.
sick. What is it made out of?
It's basically made out of typical plastic. It's not a chain or anything.
Oh, how much does it cost?
So it depends on what size you want. I got the cheapest one.
How much was that?
This was like 25.
Oh, that ain't bad at all. That's affordable. How big do they get?
What's up?
How big do they get?
I think you could get up to like 60 inches or something like that.
That's like a big ass medallion.
Right. That costs you a little bit more money, but it's more about size. But this is good stuff. I don't care if it's blinging or not.
So
I wear this during special occasions.
So let me ask you a question. I didn't watch the Raiders-Panthers recap, and I did pick the Panthers, so I have to owe you a crow for that. But you guys won 34-30, so obviously it was a close game. Derek Carr, 22 for 30, 239 yards, and a touchdown. You had Joshua Jacobs in rushing. He had 3 touchdowns on 25 carries for 93 yards. Henry Ruggs had 2 for 11, but he's mainly a receiver. But he did have 3 receptions for 55 yards, so that's not too bad.
Yeah, he did lead the game briefly. He was kind of limping off the field, so he did leave the game.
Okay, so only Jacobs had 3 touchdowns, and where did the other 13 points come from? All field goals or what?
Field goals, and Derek Carr threw a touchdown pass to Ingram.
Oh, okay. So, Nelson Aguilar also had a touchdown for you guys, too.
Yeah, that's Nelson Aguilar.
Oh, that y'all got from Philly. Okay, that's cool. So let me ask you a question. What do you think of Henry Ruggs? What do you think of Henry Ruggs, that draft pick?
It was a pretty good pick. I mean, we do need a top tier wide receiver, so that was a good pickup.
Well, Teddy Bridgewater didn't do too bad. 22 for 34, 270 yards and a touchdown. Christian McCaffrey, of course, doing his thing. 23 carries.
That was like a 78 touchdown pass, 78-yard touchdown pass, and McCaffrey scored a couple touchdowns.
Yeah, he had 2.
Yeah.
Yep, and then
it was pretty good.
Robbie Anderson had 1 touchdown on 6 receptions.
Our secondary still needs to work on some stuff, but we pulled off with the win. And here's another football talk. Tom Brady.
Well, before we go to Tom Brady, I want to ask you still some more questions on the Raiders. Okay, so the Raiders get their new stadium this year. They're starting off in Vegas. Now, a lot of people have been saying things about the Raiders is that they haven't been playing below pitiful average football the last couple of years. Then y'all brought in Connor Cook, and y'all had that loss to the Texans. Of course, my Texans in that playoff game, which that's understandable because that was your third-string quarterback. But the thing is everybody's saying that Derek Carr is overrated, or they're saying that he's not living up to par and that he's played for the Raiders for 7 years and he's just not cutting the juice. And even some Raiders fans have criticized him. Even I've sort of had my doubts because I know David Carr used to play for us, so I think of Derek Carr. So, like, what do you personally think about Derek Carr? Do you think he's overrated? Do you think he's good? Like, where do you sit him in?
Overrated. I don't even think he's even got a good rating. But the thing with him is, ever since, if you notice that injury on Christmas Eve against the Colts, he's been scared to move his legs.
Yeah.
And he's been in the pocket for like maximum of 2 seconds with that horrible offensive line. So you got to give him time. But I say this is he's on the hot seat this season for sure. If he doesn't have a good season this year, that Carr jersey that I have is going to be a throwback in a matter of time.
Okay, so here's my question.
But he better get his shit together this year.
How many more years does he have left on his contract with the Raiders?
I believe he's got 1 more year.
Okay, so he's got this year and next year. Okay, now I'm not going to...
Yeah, so this year and next year because he signed a four-year deal, $13 million or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
So I don't want to say, do you think this year could be his final year as a Raider, or do you think they're going to let him pan out the last two and just not re-sign him, if assuming y'all don't make the playoffs this year or next year?
Like I said, it's crunch time. If he has a crap year this year, I think he's done. We're going to axe him. But if he has a good year and he wins us a playoff game or two, he's got another chance. But the thing with him, and he gets along very well with John Gruden.
Okay.
They're kind of buddies, and that plays a big part. If you get along with your coach, you're going to have better chances.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. John Gruden, I think, is going into his third year, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
correct.
now the first 2 years he's kind of rough around the edges, didn't really have a good record. Many people said that it was a mistake for the Raiders to sign him for 10 years. What are your personal thoughts on John Gruden as a coach for the Raiders? Like currently now.
I love John Gruden. He
Okay.
doesn't put up with no bullshit. And he actually yells at his team and motivates the team like Dennis Allen was not bringing any motivation to the team, as you know from my previous years. I was around for that. Tom Cable was okay from like 2010,
Okay.
09, 010, and who was that? Who was that other guy we got? Hugh Jackson was good.
So let me ask you guys a question. Let's say the David Carr or Derek Carr.
John Gruden's a good coach.
Let's say Derek Carr doesn't work out.
He tested.
Let's say Derek Carr doesn't work out, right? Do you think that sort of puts John Gruden in a bad place, like longevity wise? Like, do you think that would be the end of John Gruden if this Derek Carr thing doesn't work?
No, because he's not the one that drafted Derek Carr. Carr was there when he got there.
No, I know, but I'm saying let's say Derek Carr and then they don't make the playoffs for the next 2 years. Now John Gruden's going into 4 years into his 10-year deal. Like, do you think that's gonna? I don't know. They're gonna kind of like say he's kind of the Bill O'Brien in that situation.
Pretty much so. I mean, he did sign him 10 years for a reason. That's a long time to get shit together. That's plenty of time.
Okay, now, do you see the Raiders this year making a push for the postseason? I know it's too early to tell, but what are your guess?
It's too early to tell, but we got a decent squad, and
because you got the Chiefs in your division, and they're not no easy team to beat. You got the Chargers and Tyrod Taylor. You got Denver, who's also on the surge, and they also have a pretty good defense and a pretty good offense of receiver core, tight ends, running backs.
Yeah, they got that quarterback Drew Lock too.
So, obviously the Chiefs are going to be the team of the West to beat, and everybody's saying they're the best team in the AFC. So I understand if you don't win your division, hey, no harm, no foul. You are in there with the defending champions. You are in there with the best team in the AFC. So unless Patrick Mahomes or somebody gets hurt, God forbid, they're the front runner to winning the whole thing again. I mean, so I don't think the Raiders will be criticized for not winning their division. However, they still are going to have expectations that the Raiders should make one of the new 3 wildcard spots because now they're letting in the 7th team. So they're saying that they want to see the Raiders as one of those 3. Do you think that could be possible?
It could be possible if they fix their secondary a little bit. Our secondary needs a little work because we can't let Teddy Bridgewater be throwing 75-yard touchdown passes.
Okay, so here's the thing. In the AFC West, obviously we both can probably agree the Chiefs are the best team in the West. Who do you think's the second best team? Who do you think's the second best team? Denver, Raiders, or Chargers?
I'd say we're the second best team. We're on the rise.
Okay. I'm not saying the Raiders aren't good, but I got Denver at second. I got them finishing second in the West. I still think they're the second best team. I think you guys come in third, and I think the Chargers come in fourth.
Well, we'll see what your theory says tonight because Denver plays the Tennessee Titans on Monday Night Football, so we'll kind of get a sample of like I said, it's too damn early to tell.
Oh, so who do you Raiders got next week?
We got Drew Brees and the Saints.
Oh my God!
opening kickoff, first ever NFL game in Las Vegas with 0 fan attendance. That makes me sick thinking about it.
So they're not even going to let 20% like the Chiefs did or whatever?
No. The Chiefs and the Jacksonville Jaguars are the only 2 teams allowing fans in the stadium, like what I understand.
That's ridiculous. I think more teams should.
Jaguars.
Exactly.
Of all teams, the Jacksonville Jaguars that barely has a fan percentage to begin with, you're gonna let them whatever.
You know, and see, that's the thing about the NFL. Like, I don't get. It's like, okay, if you're not gonna allow fans in the stands, why don't we all just play?
I understand. They just won the Super Bowl.
I know, but
I understand that.
But what I'm saying. But here's the thing. But here's the thing, though. No, the Chiefs did have a 20% capacity.
Right.
Okay, so here's my thing. Why even have a stadium if that's the case? Like, why don't we all just play in a bubble? Like, why don't we all just play at one stadium or 2 stadiums and just, like, why?
I don't think you could bubbleize the NFL. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, it'd probably be a little harder.
The MLB is not even doing the bubble.
It just defeats the purpose of having home field, I guess. See, in the NBA is more understandable because it's less players on the team. It's more micromanaged. There's only 15 players on each team. So I think it's a little bit easier to micromanage. But in the NFL, you got like 53 guys. Baseball's what, like 30-something? Right?
Yeah.
So I think it'd probably be a little harder to micromanage a bubble for that because the rosters are bigger. But NBA is perfect. It's a perfect bubble scenario. You only got 15 guys on each squad. Yeah.
Right, exactly. You're only allowed 5 guys on the court at a time.
Damn, Pistol, this was a very interesting conversation we had, man. We covered Lakers, Rockets, got a lot to what we say. So you do believe the Lakers are going to win the championship this year?
Yes. If it's either win or bust, because if we don't win the championship, we're not even 100% certain Anthony Davis is going to come back.
How many years?
If we win a championship, our chances are very, very high of him coming back. So it's either win or bust for the Lakers.
Yeah.
This will be a letdown.
And I think in honor of Kobe, I think it makes more sense for them to win.
Behind me, the jersey here. They say you're going to win for Kobe, and I think we're very tried to win. I mean, LeBron James is hungry. Like you said, he's hungry. And he's very determined.
The Lakers are exciting to watch. And as much as I fucking hate your team, I will admit, watching LeBron and AD on the same court is actually kind of exciting.
It is, and I'll admit, I'll even give Kawhi Leonard and some props because he's exciting to watch too, as much as I hate the Clippers.
All right, so
everybody, the whole world wants to see us in the Western Conference Finals for all the marbles to go to the championship.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going on 1 hour and 18 minutes. Is there anything else you want to cover that maybe I didn't cover that you would like to talk about? Other than that, we can shut it off. I mean,
Tom Brady in a different uniform. What do you think of that?
Personally, I think it's kind of cool, and now it shuts up all the critics about was Brady as good as a quarterback, or was it Bill Belichick's system? And Bill Belichick's system under Cam Newton looks like it was Belichick running it.
Yeah, but bro, they did play the Miami Dolphins.
And not only that, but so Brady is like 43, so I guess it makes sense, you know?
Yeah, I mean, if Tom Brady has a shit year, then all the eyes are gonna say, "Oh, he's Belichick's toy. Belichick made Brady." So pressure's on Tom Brady for sure this year. He's got a lot to prove on his new team with a different head coach, first time in his career.
That's
just weird to me.
That NFC is really the NFC is really a toss up to me anyway. I think there's so many good teams in the NFC. It's like you have to flip a coin.
It is a challenge putting them in the NFC because you got some great teams.
I think the AFC, in my opinion, for the AFC, I think it's just narrowed down to Chiefs and Ravens. Like that's the only vibe I'm getting. Right.
Right. You don't even see your boys on top.
Oh no, not even close. Nah, it's gonna take a while. Like I said, we lost Diop, we lost DJ Reader, We lost Jonathan Joseph. We lost Carlos Hyde. We didn't really have a good draft. We got some receivers that are still dealing with injuries. If the Texans can go 8-8, 7-9, like that's pretty much my expectation. I still pretty much pick the Titans to win that division from the get-go. I think they're going to win the AFC South.
I don't know, man. You got Pete Ripper division now, and you got Garner Minshew on the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I sense a little cooking in your division, the AFC South.
Yeah. Like I said, it's we just barely been through 1 week of football, man, and it's just I guess I'm just a little excited that sports is back.
From the Patriots, because excuse me, I'm watching their highlight right now, but two of them were run by Cam Newton and somebody else. Where did they get their third touchdown from?
Oh, I don't even know. I didn't even get a chance to watch that game.
Yeah, I only know that game because my cousin's a Dolphin fan, Lakers fan.
Yeah. He's cool people. Kyle.
Right.
Yeah, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. Anyways,
so it's just one game. It's too soon to tell. Like,
I know something we can cover, and it's not really something that I just talk about on my channel a lot, but we can cover baseball a little bit. Because like I said, this discussion is going to end at 1 hour and 30 minutes. Like I'm going to cap it off at there. We're at 1:20, so we can cover baseball for 10 minutes or try to at least.
Absolutely.
Okay,
yeah.
Your Dodgers are pretty good, and I will admit, but we've seen this before where they've got the number 1 seed and they'll lose. I think they lost in the first round like a couple of years ago, or like 3 years ago or 4 years ago, and it was pretty disappointing. And now the MLB is making it a 16-team playoff format, which means that's an extra round for the Dodgers to play. In my opinion, I think after the Dodgers were screwed not only once but twice, and I'll be the first to admit it, that the Houston Astros are cheaters and they're pieces of shit. I'll never root for them again. I will admit that
who's going to be your new team?
I'm not sure. I haven't decided yet. I'm still debating on that one.
You're still wearing the hat.
Well, this is a filthy hat, and this is like 5 years old, and I only just wear it because I have no other hat right now because I've been lazy to buy one. But anyways, I think this Dodgers team is playing with the most confidence that I've seen them in the last 4 or 5 years. But again, it does come down to that playoffs, and that's the thing I'm worried about. But I'm wondering, since the Dodgers,
I mean, I've already said it. Like, I'm starting to get burnt out with them because they I will go on record. They're the most disappointing team that I've ever rooted for. I've never been so disappointed.
Okay.
As a Dodger fan.
But see, here's the thing, though. Here's the thing.
Here's the thing. You could win 100 some odd games and still lose the first round. That's a letdown. It's a letdown if you don't come out with the championship.
Okay, but here's the thing, though. I think this pandemic might help the Dodgers out, and here's why. Because you only have 60 games, right? And then not only do you have 60 games, but you have more rest. So it's a smaller amount of games, and there's no fans. I don't think the Dodgers will be under a lot of pressure.
That's another thing with this no fan thing. If we come out on top and finally win the big one,
I'll take it.
It's just right. I'll take it all day, any day.
Because think about it, and you deserve it too. Because
when things go back to normal, when these teams win the championship during the COVID time,
yes,
when things go back to normal, it's not going to get fair recognition because they're going to say, "Oh, there's no fans, so that team had no pressure."
Yeah, but still, I'll take it because no. But here's the thing: you fire back with, well, when we did have fans and stuff, the Astros and the Red Sox thought it was funny to cheat, so therefore we're even. That was my response. Mic drop. Mic drops after that. If you're gonna sit there and cheat, if you're gonna sit there and cheat, if you're gonna sit there and cheat like that, don't be pissed off when we win ours. You know, that's all I gotta say. If I'm a Dodgers fan, that's my comeback.
Right.
I got Dodgers to win the whole thing this year. I think they're playing with the most confidence. Their record's like, 33-14, some sick record. They're pretty good. I think with the less amount of games, with the least amount of games, you guys got more opportunity of rest. So I think the playoffs will actually benefit this Dodgers team more than in previous years.
Right.
That's what I think. I think Dodgers are winning the whole thing this year. And I think it's the only right thing, considering that the Astros stole something that the Dodgers should have won, and that the Boston Red Sox cheated as well. And I think both of those teams are pieces of shit, in my opinion. And that's the only reason why Boston fans are like trying to nut hug on the Astros. Like, well, you won your championship, you have a right to defend your. And I said, well, let's put it like this: the only reason why you care so much is because the guy who started the cheating is won with your team and did that over there too. So that's the only reason why you care, because you know if they take our championship away, they're taking yours away as well. And I hope they do. I hope they take the Astros championship away. I hope they nullify it. I hope they take it off the record books. I hope they have add an asterisk. I will never root for this team again, ever again, until all these players, then including that midget, Altuve, all of them are off the team. I don't want nothing to do with those cheating son of a bitches. And the same thing goes for the Red Sox. I got absolute zero respect for them. Wait, repeat what you just said?
You as a fan of the organization, I mean, you said you're not going to root for this team.
I'm no longer a fan of the Astros anymore. That 2000 championship does not count. If you come on this channel, that championship does not count. I don't even acknowledge it. To me, the Astros still have 0 championships. I actually put the 2005 World Series sweep as an actual better accomplishment than their 2017 championship.
Right.
They're pieces of shit in my book.
Like, if you go back and watch Game 5, something was off. You could hear the whistle.
You can hear trash cans banging and shit. I've heard it when they show replays of games and stuff, and it's just ridiculous.
Yeah, as soon as you hit the trash can, boom, the ball is gone. I mean, if you know what pitch is coming at you, if you're a good enough hitter, you're going to hit that ball out.
And then not only after...
Even Jose Altuve, right? There's even replay of him admitting that he had a device in his jersey because they were going to pour Gatorade on him or something.
Yeah, and he said not to.
He said, "Don't pour nothing. I have Sting."
Yeah, he's a piece of shit midget. Fuck him.
I don't like that guy. He's the most overrated piece of shit, and that's Joe Buck's boyfriend. I understand. But
yeah, I don't respect Jose Altuve. He's a midget, short piece of shit, and if I catch him on the streets, I'm whooping his ass.
How much is his jersey going for? Are people even buying it?
I don't know. He's a piece of shit, and so is Carlos Correa.
What about the guy that made fun of Hugh Darvish? That racial...
Gurriel or whatever, he's a piece of shit faggot, too. I got no respect for that team until they're gone. I want every player that was involved gone. Fired, released immediately.
As opposed to end their career.
Every player, coaching staff, everybody that was involved is gone.
And I'm sure the city of Houston feels the same way. Like, I've even read some interviews from Astro fans. They were disgusted by what they did.
I want every one of them gone. I don't ever want to see them again. In fact, if the owner moved them to New Orleans because
you even said you felt funny, like you called me the night that you guys beat us in Game 7. You said something did not quite feel right.
Yeah.
You were excited, but not really. But you said something did not feel right.
Yeah. I felt it in my bones. I said I heard trash cans banging. In a couple of innings, I said, wait a minute, it's coming from our side. I'm like, what the hell is this?
And then you had some guy spy in the Star or something. What's the story on that? You said there's trash cans, and then there was a guy giving a signal.
Yeah, they were stealing signals and stuff, dude. They were doing everything they were cheating, man. It's bullshit.
They straight up pulled the New England Patriots. They pulled the Patriots, right?
Let me put it like this. Even when they got caught and they admitted it, they even said, well, it wasn't technically cheating, but, you know, yeah, what we were doing was wrong and stuff. Like, they didn't even acknowledge anything. Like, they just said, they were basically just like, oh, well, you know, we got caught, so what? Like, that's basically the stupid-ass excuse they gave once they delivered a statement. And the MLB didn't do nothing to them but fine them. That's it.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And that's why I will never root for those pieces of shit ever again. Houston Astros are a joke. That organization is a joke, their front office is a joke, and their players are a joke. And I hope they never, ever Until they're all gone, I'm never rooting for any of them again. And that's every player on that 2017 roster, every coaching staff that's still on the board, and manager, whatever.
Even if there was just one guy left,
I want them all off. I want them all released. And until that happens, I will never, ever root for the Astros again. And it may take 10 or 15 years, because, of course, when they get older, they're going to retire and leave and go elsewhere. So it may take 10 or 15 years, but until that happens, I'm never rooting for them again. Ever. Ever.
Right.
And I'm not mad at the Astros fan base either. Like everyone thought, oh, yeah, you're mad at the Astros fans. Like, no, I'm not mad at them at all. They're the ones that are coming at me, talking shit to me. I'm just saying that I'm never going to root for that piece of shit organization again.
Right, and
fuck them.
Acknowledge that they're a bunch of cheating scumbag frauds.
Fuck them.
They got caught.
Yeah, pretty much, man. And again, you guys, the Dodgers got screwed. And honestly, I think it makes sense for the Lakers and Dodgers to win in this pandemic for Kobe and for the fucking cheating scandals. I think it makes. I don't even care if they rigged the goddamn shit.
And we got Mookie Betts on my Dodger team. That's the first, and mind you, Mookie Betts signed a 13-year deal, or 12, 13-year deal, something like that, and he's a very good addition to my team. I mean, I know that he was part of the Boston team or whatever, but there's no proof that he was cheating or anything like that.
Of course. Well, like I said, I don't know. I think as far
as like 2-3 years later, the Astros.
I just still think as far as like the I still think it's far.
Who came out and read finally?
Yeah. I think the Dodgers are going to win the whole thing. I think they got the best momentum. This 60-game season actually benefits them for rest.
I've never been let down by any team because every single year we're picked to win it all, and we end up shitting the bed. We go to 2 World Series in a row and lose both of them. Like,
yeah, but you guys were cheated against, though.
When you guys gonna do something? I'm tired of living in 1988 and watching that World Series. Well, I wasn't even alive in that time.
Well, Pistol,
that Dodger team was terrible.
Well, Pistol, let me go ahead and name you this, okay? 2020, the Lakers will win and the Dodgers will win. Now, I don't know about the other sport. What is it? Football. I can't guarantee you the Raiders, but I can guarantee you the Lakers and the Dodgers will be champions this year.
I'll take you up on that. We'll find out this November or October.
And honestly, if that does happen, I don't even think you'll give a shit if the Raiders don't win the Super Bowl.
No, I like to see my Raiders win the Super Bowl.
Okay, let me ask you this. Okay, let's just play hypothetical.
I don't think it's not going to be this season.
Okay, let's think hypothetical. Let's just say Kobe's not dead. Let's say he's still alive. Okay, let's say he's like Tupac. He's still alive. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if who would you rather see win a championship this year? Raiders, Lakers, Dodgers. If you had to pick one, if it was to come true, you pick one. It comes through in 2020. Which one of those 3 teams?
I would like to see my Dodgers win at least 1 World Series when I'm alive.
Okay, so
I mean, I was blessed with 5 championships through this man here.
Oh, okay.
I've seen all 5.
Okay, gotcha.
So I've never seen the Dodgers nor the Raiders win a championship. I even saw my Kings the Kings hockey team win 2 championships. But I've yet to see my boys in blue, the Dodgers, win World Series. And I would like to see that more than anything. Because like I said, Steven, this team, the Dodgers have disappointed me more than any team I've rooted for. Even the miserable losing seasons that the Raiders gave me, the hell that they gave me with all these losing seasons and embarrassing losses and beatdowns. But nothing comes close to my Dodgers 7 years in a row winning NL West titles and still have nothing to show for it. They won 104 games last year and still they got eliminated in the first round. That's heartbreaking.
Okay, so in 2020, you would like to see, if you had to pick one of those, you'd rather see a 2020 World Series Dodgers.
Absolutely.
Oh man, and you know what, dude? I'll be rooting for you guys. If the Astros make the playoffs, I will be rooting against them.
Since you gave me one, and Kershaw needs a ring. He needs a ring. That guy's been through hell. He needs a ring.
Yeah, I think the Dodgers do deserve one. And the scariest thing is, I think the Astros are like seven seed. So there could be a possibility that the Astros could face the Dodgers in the first round. If so, I hope you sweep us.
In the first round, what do you mean? They're not doing AL and NL in the playoff format?
Nah, for baseball, you didn't hear what they're doing in baseball? Oh,
no,
shit.
I know they're adding another round, but I didn't know they were making the American League.
No, what they're doing? No, this is what they're. Oh, no. We're not in the same. Oh, we're not in the same conference. I'm sorry. Never mind. There's no way. I'm tripping. They're doing the top 8 now for each one.
Oh, so they're kind of doing like NBA does.
Yeah, and what they're doing is you win your division, you're ranked in the top 3, and if you're second in your division, you're ranked from 4 to 6, and then they take the 2 wild cards, 7 and 8 from random. So you could have four teams in your same division make the postseason.
Oh shit!
Yeah, the top 2 teams. If you finish in the top 2 in your division, you automatically make the playoffs. And then 7 and 8 is all random. It goes by like most wins. So you could have 4 teams in your own division make the playoffs.
Yeah, and with an amount of time when they start letting us go to games again, which I hope is soon.
Yeah.
But I'm real happy with the addition of Mookie Betts. He's a great player. He's a great defender. He could catch the ball. He could run outfield. He's a good hitter. Not only that. My cousin, Lakers fan said, he goes, listen, because he's a Red Sox fan, mind you.
Yeah.
He goes, you would love him.
Okay. Well, I mean, like I said, I hope the Dodgers do win the whole thing this year. I'll be rooting for them, especially after the last 2 years they got kind of screwed. They did get screwed.
My boy Max Muncy, that's my favorite player, and Justin Turner. Those are top 2 guys besides Mookie Betts and Cody Bellinger. Muncy and Justin Turner. Those are my guys.
Damn, I can't believe we're already on an hour and 36 minutes, man. All right, well, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap this.
There's a lot to talk about because I haven't really made an appearance on YouTube for the past 4 years. I'll drop a video occasionally here or there, but it's nothing special like it used to be.
All right, now make sure you guys sub to Pistol and 213. His channel will be at the bottom link of the description. So, are you going to be making more videos? I mean, like, what are your plans for your channel?
I'm trying to get the feel of it again.
I mean, you don't have to do trash talk, but you can still make preview videos.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of people got it confused. They're thinking I'm TGC again. No, that's not the case. I'm basically gonna make videos every so often when it feels there's something to talk about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, man, not too bad.
If you want to sub my channel, feel free.
Yeah.
I just recently made a small video, like a 30-second video, talking about we're ready for the new millennium for Las Vegas Raiders.
Well, I think you still should do Raiders football talks and maybe even hangouts or something on your channel, just to keep yourself busy. You know, because when you're not at work, what do you do at your house? You get bored, right? So, like, I look at YouTube as a almost like a place of therapy. You know, just to get a chance to reach out to people, and it doesn't have to be TTC. It could be other things. Like your channel could be whatever you want it to be. You know.
Right, exactly. Like I'm slowly starting to bring my jersey thing back, of showing jerseys again. I'm slowly doing that.
Like me, you might call me a loser for this. I do hiking videos. I like actually hike in the middle of the woods and I film it.
It's something you enjoy, and I enjoy your videos. I mean, I don't comment too much, but you get good content.
I mean, other than my pick'em leagues, other than my tournaments, you know, my videos. Do you know I actually I haven't told a lot of people this. I actually contemplated deleting my channel this year. It got to a point over the summer, like when the COVID thing hit, I had depression. I was out of work. All my jobs were freezing up. I had to work at Walmart. I was completely miserable working here at Walmart. Still kind of am, just a little bit, but not as bad. And I'm not going to lie to you, hiking in the woods has really helped me mentally. Mind, sound, and body line up all the dots and ducks.
It's hit me too.
You go hiking?
No, meaning this COVID thing. I mean, I would probably go hiking if I had somebody to go with, but other than that, here's the thing. This COVID thing has affected me in a lot of ways too.
Yeah, it's
like my mother. Like my mother right now is having surgery.
okay.
I don't want to get personal about it.
Yeah, of course.
I don't want no sympathy or anything.
Yeah,
like
of course.
that, so
I understand.
Talk to anybody.
I understand.
But I can't even go visit her in the freaking hospital because because of this COVID bullshit. So that's pissing me off. But I try to stay busy and watch funny videos on YouTube. I even watch our old videos. The other night I watched our old hate week against each other.
Oh wow, years ago, man. Those were the good old days. Yeah, actually, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I miss talking to you, man. One thing, me and you back in the day, like we used to sit and talk on like Uvu. Remember Uvu? We used to talk on Uvu.
I've actually met you in person, so you're officially one of my friends.
Yeah, and like I said, now that like I have a job and stuff, and I actually have vacation time. Well, I have like 20 hours of vacation time, but I'm gonna get more as I continue to work. I'm actually planning on next year in 2021 going back up to the desert, man, to go visit you, man, and gonna stay for like a week.
Yeah, we're definitely hang out and do stuff, you know.
Yeah, because I remember your mom and dad said that I was welcome to come over there.
Yeah, you were.
I don't know if that offer still stands.
Now, with this COVID shit going on, my mom kind of didn't want anybody coming over.
Understandable. Hey, I completely understand. But like
and how are you guys with visitors? Are you following the guidelines as well?
Yeah, we don't bring anybody in my house anyway. So I mean, you know, we got nothing but dogs and cats and shit in here. But the thing is we've been following up everything too. But that's why I go hiking, man. It really puts me in a better place mentally.
Right.
And it really not only that, dude. I've dropped 27 pounds since I got a job at Walmart. So it's like one of the benefits that I've had. About working.
Is it because you're moving around a lot? Or
well, I work in the truck. I work in the hot truck all day.
You work in the truck?
Yeah, I do stocking from 1 to 10.
Oh, I thought you worked in the store. You said you work in a truck.
No, I work in Walmart in the back in the truck as stocking, like as an unloader. Like I unload the boxes off the truck.
Trucks and stuff like that?
Yeah, in Walmart.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So like you like stocking, you have like the stalkers,
right.
And then you got like the unloaders, the people that
I work overnight at.
Yeah, then you got people that actually unload the trucks. They actually have to break everything down and put it on the freight.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, same thing. Shit's gonna be hard.
You do it during the day.
Yeah, and what sucks is too. Let me tell you about how much it sucks. Which hold on, let me hold on. What sucks about it is that the trucks have no AC in them, so you're like literally emptying. Oh my dude, bro, you're literally emptying trucks out in like 110 degree weather. Now, if you're in Phoenix and it's 117 degrees outside, it's 130 in that truck at Walmart.
Right.
You would have to put some kind of AC units or something in there because motherfuckers will pass out.
Oh, yeah. I mean, especially where you live in Texas, it gets hot like a motherfucker.
Yeah, but the only difference is in Phoenix it's worse because unlike Texas weather, like you guys get a lot of humidity. And we get humidity, but you guys have no humidity. You guys got no wind gusts. So it's just straight hot in that truck and there's no wind circulating and moving that heat around. So in Phoenix, when it's 117, 118, 119 in July, when I was there in 2015, that's hot, dude. And in my car, registered at like 134. Like as soon as I put my back against the wheel, you can ask John, this shit was burning. I actually had to jump out of the car, to jump out of the vehicle and start the vehicle and let the AC run for like 20 minutes before I could even get in the car.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It was 117 that day.
You better, dude, over here, you better even cover the steering wheel because that shit hot.
Is that what you do?
Yes, I do. I don't do it, but I use the sun advisor.
Yeah. Man, I cannot believe this. Pistol, we're already at 1 hour and 43 minutes. I'm debating if I should put all the clips together or just download them clip by clip. Like, in other words, a 30-minute video here, a 25-minute video there.
Well, I don't know, man. People are kind of bored during this time, so they're not doing much. There's people social distancing and they're staying at home.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's up to you. I mean, you could upload the best topics, like when we talk about baseball or the Raiders.
Oh no, I'm uploading the whole thing. I'm just debating if I'm gonna put all the clips together and make one giant marathon movie, or I'm just gonna just download them in separate packages, and just that way you can watch one, watch the other. You know, stuff like that. I'm kind of debating because I know people's attention spans are kind of low. You know?
Right. And have you done these interviews before?
I've done them before. Me and Art Banaco, we talk about like relationship talk. I've done videos with Kim123. I've done videos with other video makers that aren't trash talking related. We do interviews. So yeah, if you look at my channel, you'll see that. And my hiking videos are over an hour long. Like they're like 1 hour and 20 minutes, 1 hour and 30 minutes. So
right. With those long ass videos, do you get good views on it and feedback?
Somewhat. That's why I'm thinking about just downloading them small piece by small piece. So if you want to go and watch a specific segment where we're covering one topic, you can watch that video, like basketball.
Right.
And then the next one would be like football. Next one would be baseball, like this one, and COVID. I'll probably put baseball and COVID in one package, you know, the whole ordeal, and then make that its own separate entity and go from there.
Right. And like I said, this is a very crazy time. I mean, I've even had a few mental breakdowns because of this, and you just got to keep yourself busy.
Dude, I was so...
It sucks even working during this time because everybody's so uptight. Got to wear these motherfucking masks at the job, and it gets... Wearing a mask in Arizona, and you already cold out our heat. It's hot as shit.
So, like, the thing is like, the mask is, to me, like, I could wear it for the first couple hours, but then I get, like, claustrophobic in it, or not the...
Right, in other words,
panic attacks.
All that sweat we're breathing in our own sweat, Steven. Eventually, that's going to turn into pneumonia. Mm-hmm. So if you get sick with pneumonia, they're going to probably sit there and say you got COVID.
Yeah, and not only that, but then I'm blowing in hot air, and then not only that, but I feel like I'm getting a panic attack. Like, I feel like I can't breathe in the mask sometimes.
Right, but...
I get panic attacks, and I get anxiety attacks at work wearing that mask. So sometimes I'll put the mask on. Like, I'll show you an example. I got a mask here. Let me see. I think I got a mask here. Do I? Yeah. Okay. So, like, for example, like, I'll show you a mask here I got.
Here too.
Okay. So, like, I get the mask here they give us at our job. These are the standardized masks they give us.
Oh, those are the...
Okay, so look, you wear a mask. Okay, so we wear a mask like this, right? And, like, so what basically happens is, the first couple hours, I'm fine. And then when I start getting panic attacks, I'll go like this. And I'll walk around the store like this. Or sometimes I'll go like this, too, sometimes.
Yeah, that's obviously not the proper guideline. You got these mask holes. They say mask holes are the people not wearing the mask. I personally think the mask holes are the guys yelling at you for not wearing the mask. They're the mask holes.
Well, to tell you the truth, I don't have a problem if people don't wear their mask or not. It doesn't bother me, but it would suck if somebody had it and they weren't. Huh?
You got these people that are very anal about it, and they act like they're going to shoot you if you don't put your mask on.
Well, you work overnight.
I'm talking about those people.
Well, you work overnight, but if you work during the daytime at Walmart, some customers will say, "Hey, put your goddamn mask on."
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Those are the mask holes, in my opinion. Just saying.
Dude, one time, I'll tell you a true story. This one lady came in, and she said, you know, like, I don't know how your store works, but we have, like, sanitizers at the front where they spray the baskets down.
Oh, yeah.
And, like...
Yeah, they got the carry-outs sanitizing cart one at a time.
And not only that, but, like, when you enter in the store, they have to have a guy there, like, spraying and wiping the baskets, and then they hand them to the customer.
Right.
At the entrances and exits, or at the entrances, or each entrance. I don't know if your store does that, but over here we do that. But anyways,
I don't know. I'm not around.
This nurse lady comes in, and I'm spraying the baskets down because, of course, there's some days where everyone has to take turns doing it. So I had to take one shift.
In the Walmarts over here, they won't even let you in that motherfucker without a mask.
Well, no, you have to have a mask, but I'm talking about sanitation where they're sanitizing the baskets where they spray them.
Right. There's even a guy doing that in our Walmart too.
Okay. Here's the thing. When I had to spray, because like when you're in grocery, they kind of put you everywhere. Like they're like, hey, we don't have a guy over here. Can you go over here? I'm like, okay. Well, once a week, everybody has to take turns. They have to take a shift where you're working 8 hours just spraying baskets, which that's cool because like they put me sanitizing on Tuesday. So I'm like, okay, no big deal. So on Tuesday, I'll be spraying baskets, and that's my turn for the week. And then everybody else has a different day, right? So anyways, I'm spraying baskets, and this one lady comes in, and she's like a nurse, white lady, Karen type. I think they call them like Karens, you know, like the nagging white woman.
Oh,
like
okay.
she comes in and she's like, you know, I work at a hospital, and like you guys aren't really thoroughly cleaning any of these goddamn baskets. And I'm like, well, how am I not? She's like, well, because you're using the same towel, and you don't have like, you're supposed to use a different towel for each basket. And you're just basically spreading germs. Like, that's all you're doing. You're basically grabbing germs and you're just throwing it on to somebody else.
She does realize once you spray the thing, the germs is dead, right?
Yeah, I told her that. But she told me she could still see them. I'm like, well, I don't know how you can see them.
What the fuck?
Yeah, she said, I still see them. Like, they're running around. I'm looking at them. I'm like, okay. So she was basically saying, like, that I was spreading the virus. And that I wasn't being thorough, and that my whole store is guilty if anybody gets, like, corona and stuff. And
right.
and I just started laughing because I thought it was funny. I'm not gonna lie. And
even when the stores closed, we're supposed to wear these things.
Well, I told her, you know, ma'am. I told her about the towel because she kept saying like you're supposed to have a different towel, and I'm like, well, your hospital can supply me the towels, and I'll be glad to use one towel for each basket.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you go to the hospital where you work and you bring me all the towels, okay? And then she got mad when I said that and walked off. Because it's like she was being ridiculous. And like there's this one Asian guy, like he came in and he was like, did you clean these baskets? And I'm like, yeah. And he goes, because I'm not trying to get corona. That's what he did. I'm trying to get corona. And he went like that. And I'm like, and what the hell makes you think I'm trying to get it?
No, because that's the first thing. The frozen guy, when this first popped off the hype, I said, good morning. I'm not going to say the guy's name on video because it's nobody's goddamn business.
Okay.
Anyway, he goes, long story short, I go, hey, how you doing? He goes, stay away from me. I go, what do you mean? He's like, I just got grandkids and I'm not trying to get sick. He said, stay away from me. I was like, okay.
Dude, I've had some people like I forget to like when you shake someone's hand, they're like, I don't like to shake your hand because I don't want to get it. I go, okay.
Right.
And then the customer will say, well, let's lock elbows. And I'm like, okay, well, that's kind of the same thing, isn't it?
Or we can headbutt. Yeah! How you doing? Boom! I don't know, man.
Oh, I had one lady this one time, dude. I'll tell you this funny shit. One time this lady comes in and she says, when is this all just going to...
First things first, this is a little funny, but I'll let you finish your story first.
This lady told me, when is this all going to end? I'm like, when is what going to end? She's like, this whole thing. I'm like, what's this? She's like, and she's like, when is it all going to end? I'm like, okay, so are you talking about Corona or the fact that our store closes early? Because we do close early. We close at 8, you know?
Right.
And I said, so which one is it? She's like, both. I'm like, okay, well, first of all, I can't predict when Corona is going to go away. And I said, secondly, the store closed early was a corporate decision that I have nothing to do with that. You know? Because they'll get mad at me. They get mad at you like you made the decision for the store. I'm like, that was corporate.
Like, for instance, if we don't have a product, they get mad at me. Like, I'm in charge of the warehouse. They're like, where the fuck is the pumpkin slice? This was Thanksgiving. And I'm like, ma'am, we don't have it. Where the fuck is it? I'm like, I don't know. We might get a shipment tonight. Okay, I'm coming back tonight. And if it's It's not here tomorrow. I'm gonna call corporate. So you go right ahead and call them right now.
Yeah, I have them tell me like, well, where's the side I'm at? I'm like, well, I don't know. They're like,
So anyway,
yeah, go ahead.
The fact that, before I forget this, forgive me.
Okay, go ahead.
Roger Goodell, the NFL commissioner, is banning jersey swaps. Is he stupid? Because they're tackling each other and breathing on each other on the field. What's the fucking difference? Are you a dumbass? How does that make any sense?
And if you hand the jerseys over, don't you like wash them anyway?
Right. It's like you're banning jersey swaps, but they're tackling and touching the jerseys and spitting on it.
And they're not social distancing on the field.
No, they're not at all.
Dude, I think I would literally stop watching sports if they try to do that shit on the court. Like, you know, where they like made it to where, like, let's say Anthony Davis is dribbling the ball, but he's got like something sticking out of his chest.
Our second string social distance on that fucking 75-yard touchdown pass to Bridgewater. Social distance there. Oh man, this is a weird year for sure, man. There are times I lay in bed at night and like I'm wondering when in the fuck are we gonna get back to normal.
That's the thing. Do you ever think we're gonna get back to normal with this COVID thing? Do you think we'll find a cure? Do you think this all this is a hoax? Like, do you even believe this is real? Because some people think it's a hoax. It's fake.
I got mixed feelings about it, man. I don't know what I'm at the point to where I don't know what to believe anymore.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way, man.
Like, they could just you're gonna sit there and tell me I possibly got it, but I don't know that. How the fuck do you even know what it looks like in the system? This is a supposed new virus. How do you know? How do you know you ain't got it? And there's motherfuckers testing positive and they're not even sick at all. So I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. I believe it's out there, but I think it's a little blown out of proportion. But I'm following the guidelines for the safety of my family.
But here's the thing, though. I think
I'm just taking precautions.
Here's the thing, though, Pistol.
I'm not.
Pistol, look. I think once the corona ends, I think we're still not going to be back to normal. Like, I think people are still going to be social distancing, and they're going to be scared to, like, you know, to go back to normal.
Oh, not me.
Well, I feel the same way too, man. Because honestly, when they started saying,
live your life, you can't. How long are? Here's another question: how long are we going to live in fear?
You're right. You're right.
I mean, I'm taking precaution because my mom is in considered the elderly category. But other than that, when I get home, I immediately shower and be done with it, and throw my clothes in the wash. That's what I do.
Yeah.
But as far as everything else, man, you're gonna take all these things away from us, and some people are allowed to not work and collect unemployment, and some are supposed to work and put our lives on the line, like us grocery store workers. I mean, I don't know, man.
And see, that's the one thing I also want to discuss with you about COVID. About the whole like thing about essential and non-essential is like I feel like it's a slap in the face to us workers that we didn't really get anything. Like,
no, because and the bonus we got didn't last for long, for one.
No, and then they cut our hours too.
It got taxed like fucking nuts. It got fucking taxed like crazy.
I don't know about your
taxed the shit out of it.
I don't know about your store, but at our store they cut hours. So if they give you the bonus, they cut your hours the next week.
So either way, we're getting fucked.
That's what I just was like.
They ain't cutting my hours. You know what I do? To get my hours, I go to other stores for help.
Oh, you do?
Somewhere in a galaxy far, far away, some store's gonna need help.
I think robots are gonna end up replacing us. That's where I see it going.
Well, hey, they've already replaced the janitors at my stores with one. There's a fucking Zamboni machine that just drives by itself.
Yeah, same here too.
Yeah.
So all the janitors get their hours cut.
We just hope to win the lottery, I guess, and hope for the best.
That'll rob a bank. I'm just kidding. I was joking.
Next thing you know, people are going to use cough as a weapon, not as a gun. You don't put all the money in the bag, I'm going to sneeze on your ass, bitch.
Oh.
I got the Rona, and I ain't afraid to use it. It's going to come down to that next.
Yeah, you could possibly be right about this, man. And like I said, the whole my thoughts on the essential non-essential thing, like it sucks that there's some people that lost their jobs that have no jobs to go back to, and that's not just
exactly. My ex-girlfriend, her mama just lost her job because of all this nonsense. Like, there's been worse illnesses out there. Why are we shutting down the world for this one when there's a 99.9% survival rate?
Yeah,
that don't make any sense to
facts.
me. And like you said, like I said, how do we know that it's even legit? Like, how do they know, like, the testing? It's like, so I've heard stories to where somebody's not even swabbed it and it tested positive.
Wow, see, I didn't know that. Wow, see, I'm learning something new from you.
Yeah, there's stories saying that this one lady did the test. She didn't even swab it. She just put it in the bag and sent it off, and they said it was positive.
But, like, here's what I don't understand, Pistol, about this. And tell me if you agree or disagree with this. Like, okay. We know the virus has no, like, the COVID thing, it has no, what's the word I want to use? It has no discrimination on who it picks to attack, right? So my issue is if the issue is about spreading the virus, then you shut all these jobs down, then why is it that the workers seem like it doesn't matter if we get it? Because, like, I understand you need grocery stores open, you need hospitals open, you need the police force open, you need, like, certain... You can't just shut down everything. But then again, like, how come you pick and choose whose jobs are non-essential and whose jobs are? Right, and you could pay these people at the house, and then us workers really are left to nothing. Like, I don't understand that.
So are they cutting your hours at work?
No, I've been getting 40, but I also got a side job too. Like, I also work in foundation. But like most people
do you still work in foundation?
Yeah, I still work there. The business has been picking up, but like what I've been saying is that most people who work at that job at Walmart, they don't have any other source of revenue or any second tier job. So I feel bad for those people. They have to rely on their hours. So when their hours because like Walmart's been on the news and like H-E-B and Kroger's and all these other places for like, oh yeah, we've been giving our employees bonuses, but they also don't tell the news is that they're cutting hours too to make up for it.
And they're spending millions of dollars on these machines that we don't even need. Extra electric jacks. We've got fucking 3 pallet power jacks in our back room. It's like, bro, we need actual manual jacks because there's pallet jacks that we can't even find through the night. Why not add a few more of those? It's like damn.
I feel like our workers got kind of screwed in this whole ordeal.
A lot of people got screwed over this thing. Like, since when is it okay to live in fear? In a question. But I understand. Like, I'm not bashing anybody here. Like, it just don't make no damn sense to me. Is all.
Man, you know people who got on unemployment though, who got the COVID. You know,
mental health is important too. I'm just saying.
Wait, what did you say?
Mental health is important too.
Why do you think I go on my hikes? For my mental health.
Right, exactly. So, how long are my question is how long are we going to live in fear like this? Can't do it forever. At some point, you got to pick up and say, we got to move on.
Well, I'm thinking, Pistol, if I take my vacation next year, I get my 7-day vacation. And I could try to like line it up with whenever you take yours next year.
Right.
And even if I can't stay at your house.
Football season, like maybe you'd want to see the Texans versus the Raiders play or something in Vegas.
Yeah,
if we play.
Yeah, that or
you've been to your stadium plenty of times.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is that even if we don't do that, we can always do stuff around Phoenix. We can even go on hikes there.
Right.
That would be fun.
My assistant grocery manager does hiking too.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
You should tell.
He lives out in Whitman, Arizona.
You should tell him if you can go with him.
Yeah. We're not really close like that. We're not good friends or anything like that. So
how did you know? Like, how'd you know he does that?
He told me while he was recuperating because for the past 3 months he just had shoulder surgery.
Yeah.
So he was recuperating.
Yeah, that's not too bad. All right, Pistol. Well, we already pretty much talked about everything, man. We're just gonna go ahead and cut this interview short. I mean, not short, but cut it off. Damn, we're already going over 2 hours now. Is there anything else you'd like to say, man? Let's get Pistol and 213 some more subscribers. What other videos do you plan on making in the future? Is it just going to be strictly sports related, or do you have any other plans in your repertoire? Is there any like new ideas you got?
I try to keep it sports, like politics and stuff like that. I keep it on the down low for that. But if there's something to make a video about, I'll make it. Like, I'm not a consistent video maker per se, like I used to back in the day.
Yeah.
But I do the best I can with that. You just gotta find the drive again, and I've been trying to do that.
Well, what I did was I took a couple of months off. And like I didn't take a couple of months off, but what I did was I took like 2 weeks off, and then like I would just make videos once a week. And then now that football season started up in basketball, I actually started revving up my videos again. I actually found like my second wind. So now I'm like a little bit more excited about making videos. Maybe you should conduct interviews or be a part of hangouts and stuff. I think maybe that'll sort of help you out too.
Right, that too.
I think me and you should do more of these videos again. And we can do different topics too. It doesn't always have to be... Well, we can do our sports topics, don't get me wrong. That's never going to go away. But we can always change it up and do other, other trending topics or other stuff on, that's kind of trendy and stuff, and just go from there,
Right. Like a few years back, people were eating Tide Pods, examples like that.
Yeah, I mean, just anything. Like I'm pretty sure in the future we'll have something set up. But we definitely should start doing videos, even if it's just once a week. Like, I think it would be pretty cool to... I can orchestrate it, put it together. You know how I do. And then from there, we go from there.
Yeah, it sounds like an interesting idea.
All right, Pistol. Well, I'm going to go ahead and end this. We don't have to get off here, but definitely going to end the interview. You have any final last words?
Go Raiders and go Dodgers. Please get this ring for me and the rest of our Dodger fans.
Oh, yeah.
Like I said, if you gave me one team, Steven, that's the team I want to see win.
A World Series.
Yes, sir.
And I think it's rightfully deserved.
Let's make it happen, baby. Go blue.
All right.
Dodgers.
All right. Well, we'll have his link at the bottom of the description. Make sure you guys sub to his channel. And this will not be the last time you'll see Pistol on my show. We'll make sure to do more of these. Even if, like I said, it's once a week, I'm pretty sure he'd be down on one of his off days. We could put something together,
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I work overnight, so I'm like a vampire, so...
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and end it here, man. Thank you, Pistol, for taking the time to talk various topics, about football, basketball, baseball, COVID, all the thing, man. I appreciate you being part of it.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead and end it, and till next time. Thanks
for having me on, man. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, man. Did it make you feel better now?
Yeah.
Yeah, man. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and end the interview here, and then, like I said, I think we should do something next week. But like I said, I'm off Friday if you're down for one Friday. Or if not, we can do one next week. We'll schedule something again.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Maybe we'll do like a Raiders recap. We'll talk about the Raiders' second game. We can always talk about the update because like baseball, like playoffs coming up anyway. We only got like 2 weeks of the regular season left.
Right,
so
next week we got Drew Brees in the Poodats. So
yeah, we can do a recap on that game. We can also do a recap on
first Monday night game ever in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, let's go ahead and sign up out of here, man. So until next time, it's me and Pistol213, and we are officially signing out. Peace.
Peace out.